Okay, so I've been looking for new video ideas for a while, and I just took a look at the Pokemon Amino because that's easily where I can find good video ideas, and I saw a good theory. Mimikyu is Marshadow. This guy named PokePay made a blog on a theory that Mimikyu is Marshadow. I'm going to tell you guys all my thoughts. Every single word, every single topic, Okay, you guys get the point. It's time. So in the first paragraph is titled, Why Would Pokemon Do This? Okay, so one, if you guys don't remember, in the XYZ anime, he practically said that Bonnie has a Pokemon named Squishy, which is a Zygarde cell, which is a legendary Pokemon Zygarde, right? In the Sun and Moon anime, though, Team Rocket catches Mimikyu, and he's practically saying Mimikyu could be a legendary because, the directors have done this before, and yeah, that's pretty much what he practically said. So, I think that this is the worst idea. This is the worst explanation on why Marshadow is Mimikyu. Horrible. Why? It's Team Rocket. Do you really think one, do you think Mimikyu would even show its face to any of Team Rocket? Because obviously it doesn't give a shit about them. It gives a shit about fucking Pikachu, okay? And two. Okay, that's number 2. Get it? 2. And 2. Why would Team Rocket have a legendary Pokemon? And also, even if it is a legendary Pokemon, do you really think Mimikyu is going to show itself to Team Rocket? Because you can obviously tell Jesse is only using them for power. Is only using Mimikyu for power, and that's why they won against Ash that one time. I just don't like that part. It's not convincing. That part is kind of not convincing to me. Anyways, you guys know that Marshadow is a fighting and ghost type. Mimikyu is a fairy and ghost type. So, since Mimikyu wanted to be the opposite of what he was, since everyone hated him or didn't like him or something like that, it changed to fairy, the opposite of fighting, and, it wanted to be the opposite of what it was. That's what he said. And that is really... Okay, yes, that is a good explanation. This is a part where it's really good, and it just says a lot about Mimikyu changing and what wants to be, and it just wants to be loved. It wants to have friends. And why can't it have friends? Why? All it wants is friends, and you guys won't even get him a friend. But yes, good explanation, good thinking. I'm stupid. I should have thought of that. But guess what? I didn't think of this because I'm a little guy on YouTube who edits videos for like 5 hours or something, and they're still bad. But the only downside of this drastic type change is that if it did change to fairy, what happened? Why did he put on a cloth? Why? Why is everyone scared of Mimikyu's real identity? Why can't nobody survive looking at Mimikyu's real identity? Tell me this. If you can tell me this, I'll believe this. Okay? Now do it. So next he really just talks about the dex entries for Marshadow, where in Sun, and I quote, it says, able to conceal itself in shadows and never appears before humans, so its very existence for the stuff of myth. And for Moon, and I quote, it lurks in the shadows of others, copying their movements and powers. This Pokemon is craven and cowering. He pretty much says that, Mimikyu wants to conceal itself. It never appears before humans because it wants to conceal itself. It wants to stay a secret, its real identity. So yeah, I'm not going to really go into detail about this, but okay. I'll probably do another part about this. Bang. So in the next part, he says, and I quote, so this is one of each stats. As you can see, they are extremely similar. I mean, they aren't identical, but I can easily see the reason for this being Marshadow as an improved form of Mimikyu, which would make sense because it's basically like an evolved form of Mimikyu. For when Marshadow has to go into the cloak, he would have to conceal some of his power as well. The stats are very close. Okay. Yeah, they're really not. It's not proving. It's not doing a lot. Okay, yeah, their stats are pretty similar, but is that really a good way to represent things? No, it's not. Stats and all is not going to do anything, and yeah, some Pokemon have like literally the same stat or like close enough stats. So I do not think this shows anything at all, and it does not show anything about Mimikyu being Marshadow, because any Pokemon can have the same base stats. Like, they can have close to the same base stats, they can have pretty much the same base stats, and, you know, it's just not a good reason. Just not. So he really talked about Night Marchers next, and he said this. So I've talked about Night Marchers before, and Mimikyu and Marshadow both seem to have basis on it. When Mimikyu is seen, you will suffer a grim fate, as its Pokedex entry states. That's what happened to the scholar who tried it before, which it is usually what happens when you see Night Marchers. But if you are related or were close friends with one single person in the group, you'll be safe. So if Mimikyu comes out and decides you're close enough, friends, you won't suffer at all, for it was Mimikyu's choice to reveal himself. Then, if you truly are close enough friends, Marshadow comes. Okay? I don't understand. But, you can be really good friends with a Mimikyu, and it's like, okay. I don't remember. I was talking to this freaking girl at a fucking Pokemon Center on like Pokemon Sun Moon. I don't remember where it was, so I'm not gonna actually have like a screen pop up or something. But she was like, Mimikyu, why won't you take off your cloth so I can like clean it for you? Huh? And Mimikyu was like, fuck you, get away from me. And maybe they're not close enough friends, but I can kind of see this saying how they want to base it off. Well, it's kind of cool. You know, this is a really good representation, and Mimikyu having if you see Mimikyu's true form, you'll suffer a grim fate. But in Night Marchers, it's pretty much the same. But if you're friends with one person in the group, like you said earlier, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But if you're friends with if you get close friends with Mimikyu, it'll take off your cloth. It will take off his cloth. So. Yeah. What do you guys think about that? I really don't know what to think about it. It can go either way. And that's why I want to leave this part up to you. So for the rest of this, I'm going to read it all in one go and talk about it, because this is pretty much all representation of the same thing, which is Kanoloa. If I'm saying that wrong, I don't give a fucking shit. Okay? Kanoloa. I need to check how to say that. Kanalua. Kanalua is the Hawaiian god of the underworld. Now, spirits like Night Marchers have close relations to the underworld. I mean, they are basically ghosts. Not only that, but guess what? Marshadow is a demon. Demon and underworld go together like peas and pod. It's so closely related, it's hard to look past it. Now, you might be wondering what relates to Mimikyu to this? I have the answers. Take a look at Mimikyu's naked body from the anime. For those of you questioning about the size change, I have an answer. Marshadow is a literal shadow. He can change sizes at will. It's not like your shadow just looks the same forever. Now, when I first saw this, I thought nothing of it, simply passing it by. When it came to me, what do you think this Mimikyu now uncovered looks like? For me, I thought a cartoonish like squid or octopus. For example, the one from Nemo. It's what automatically came to my mind. Not only that, but it's placed in water. A little suspicious. When it all hit me, BAM! Guess what Kanalua is pictured as in Hawaiian mythology? Bingo, Johnny boy! A squid or octopus. It's too convincing. How is this all just a coincidence? But I yet have more. Eye of Kanalua. This is yeah, the eye of Kanalua. You'll see a picture soon. Yeah. Take a look at this picture. This is what Hawaiians call the eye of Kanalua. Take a look at the little pupil in the middle. Seem familiar? For me, it looks like a shot from a bow of Mimikyu's uncovered state. I counted the legs, and I'm pretty sure it's identical. So there, Mimikyu stands in its little coat, which should be represented, but everything out of the pupil is safe, hidden from everything that dislikes it. Mimikyu is the eye of Kanalua, basically. End quote. So, this is pretty much the end of this blog. And this last Kanalua part, holy shit. He went deep. And I completely acknowledge him for going this deep. And like the way he said everything. Because Mimikyu being a shadow underneath is, you know, boom, shadow. You can't do anything about it. It can change. You don't never know. And octopus, blah. Yes, Eye of Kanalua. I see it. I see it. It's really good. If you guys really want to read it, check the description below. Because I'm just gonna say now, this is probably the best theory so far, and I just acknowledge him for taking this theory and thank him. I'm going to thank him also for letting me use this theory today in one of my videos, because he is an absolute god. Don't forget, guys, that's just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry. Oh, fuck. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you guys still haven't clicked that description link for PokePate's blog about Mimikyu being Marshadow, check the link in the description below. And also, if you guys haven't subscribed to this channel, I might be having a live stream next week about this topic and more of the Pokemon anime and so on. So if you guys want to stay put and, you know, check when the stream's gonna start, hit that bell and subscribe to make sure I'm there. And you guys love me. Like the video. Share, at least. Thanks. Peace out. God, I just wonder what this channel's become.